In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. O Heavenly King, the Comforter, the Spirit of truth, who art everywhere present and fillest all things, treasury of blessings and giver of life, come and abide in us, cleanse us from every impurity, and save our souls, O good one. Glory to Jesus Christ.
Glory forever.
Welcome, everybody. This is really one of our first type of gatherings we've had to sit down and be together to hopefully build the future of this church. I'll come back to a little history on the church here in a little bit for those who are new. And I know I've told the story many, many times, and I'll try to keep it brief. But before we even move along, there's many thank yous that have to be given tonight. The board, God bless you all, Father John, they spent endless hours, almost 2-3 times a week, preparing for this. They're responsible for this beautiful setup, this presentation. Callie, Raymond, God bless you guys. Everybody who pitched in, we can't thank you enough, and it's all for the glory of this church and for us to be blessed in through God's graces. We also want to thank, not only can she sing and direct, but she can cook. This was a remarkable, just wonderful spread. Thank you so much, Presbyterian. Chef Joe, thank you so much for your assistance. God bless you. Presbyterian worked very hard for this. I mean, she did this out of her heart, of course, as she always does, and as she does for many things. So we thank her. God bless you all and grant you many years. I'm not going to be too long, as much as I like to talk. And I was telling Callie earlier, I got in trouble way back at my wedding reception. When my wife, Lola, excuses herself tonight. Our little one's not feeling well. But she always told me to keep my speech short, which I never did. I still hear about it every time I get up and talk. But we are going to go, just to briefly touch on the history of this beautiful church. I think to us, of course, everybody's church is special to themselves. And we all grow up in churches. We all have our special churches. But growing up in an Orthodox church, and we're all converts, but many of us who've grown up in Orthodox churches, that's our family, that's our way, that's our life. I mean, it's God and church. Our family centered around the church. We are always there. Our friends became church people, and we're church people. It extended beyond that. These days we have so many attractions and distractions, actually, but it seems like all the events for the young adults and for the kids, and as well as the older adults, it was all at the church. I mean, they had teen groups, they had kid groups, they had what's called the Crusaders, which was a men's group, they had the ladies club, and it all centered around that. And of course, we grow up, we move along, we go to new churches, and we experience new churches. And I got to admit, this has been a true treasure, a blessing from heaven, to be in a church that has been like family, not only to our family, but to all of us. And I'll come back and expand on that. But we started 12 years ago, maybe a little longer than that. John Diamante is a Greek parishioner here. We don't see him too often, but God bless him. He's the one who really started the first liturgies here. I remember when we spent our first 2 years here in Prescott area, my wife and I, we moved down to Phoenix for a year. John Diamante was having liturgy here with a priest coming from the mission in Flagstaff. And Lola and I came out. We just had Mary at that time, our oldest, and we were looking for a place to move into. And we heard that there was liturgy. It was Sunday. It was raining. It was cold. It was in the Prescott Valley Library. So we never been there. We finally found it. And it was myself, Lola, Mary. It was John Diamante and his son and the priest. And it was a beautiful liturgy. And it was another 6 months before we were going to move up here. That kind of faded out. We met Raymond Zogab, who moved to Prescott from California. And both of us had talked. We visited each other when we were living in Phoenix. We decided we'd try to restart this church. And by the grace of God, we're Antiochian. not that it matters. But we started off with Antiochian Church, and the priest, unfortunately, down there, I guess he had a different agenda. He wasn't too interested in helping us, but the first liturgy happened 12 years ago in my old office, the Saturday after Easter. That's why when we have our Easter picnic, that's how that settled on Bright Saturday, or the Saturday right after Easter. We always continued that tradition most of the time. And it was Father Edward Kelly from the Antiochian Church from St. George in Phoenix. Things weren't able to work out, and then maybe that was another blessing, because Raymond met and knew Father Andrew, we're really blessed to have him here tonight, and we'll be up here shortly. But Raymond talked to Father Andrew, and it was through his hard work and diligence and his graciousness. He had his own parish, huge parish down there, his own family, young kids at that time, and God bless him, he's the one who took the time out and really helped start this mission. You got to have a priest, of course. We started off having liturgy once a month, as you can see. We started in our office. Father Andrew asked the assistance of Father Michael Pallet, Father Virgil, and subsequently Father Nicholas Andrucho in the church in Flagstaff. And we went from one service, one liturgy a month, to several times a month to every Saturday, because they had to give their liturgies on Sundays. So that's how we started. It was a beautiful thing. We started with a few people, and you always hear me tell this story too. After a year or so, we'd walk in there, myself, Lola, my kids, Raymond, the priest. I think Bill was one of the earlier ones, and it's like, how are we going to start a church like this? There's only a few people here, but through God's graces and the testimony here, look at how we've grown so far. Well, we progressed on. We had to move out of my office. We outgrew the office, went to our house for a little bit. Father Andrew, the priests, God bless them, they were very consistent. They even came up for a few Lenten services. So the parish grew, and we did finally get our first full-time priest, Father Gabriel, God rest his soul, memory eternal. And he served us for a year and a half. And after that, we were blessed to have Father John join and assigned to this church, which, as we can see, and a lot of you can attest to now, the growth has been exponential. And I think that attests to many things. But we moved from the Monday Club. When we moved out of our house, Raymond found the Monday Club, which was right behind the Presbyterian Hotel on Burley Street. We stayed there for a number of years. We set up and took down the iconostas. We set up the altar and took it down, because this wasn't our place. And so every week, God bless everybody for pitching in and doing that. Then we were blessed to find this space right now. And as you can see, this is why we're here tonight. We're blessed with the many years of growth, which actually the growth has been over the short few years, these past few years. We've outgrown this facility. It's been a beautiful blessing. It's a beautiful church, obviously. But we've come to the point where we're here tonight to ask everybody for your help and for your prayers. We need to move this church and mission along. And we need every one of you all to help us do that, no matter what kind of contribution it is. I'm not talking financial only. There's many ways we all contribute to the church. We all have to keep that in our mind and our hearts, because many contribute to the church in many ways that are unique to yourselves and unique to us. And that's what we ask for. And even if it's prayers, that is the best we can ask for. But going back to the family situation, this church is, I'm very proud of. I know all of us are very proud of. I think anybody who comes here on a Sunday, or who ends up joining, it's always been a family. We're not Greek, even though we're in the Greek archdiocese. We're not Serbian. We're not Antiochian. We're not Russian. We're family Orthodox. And that's the way it should be everywhere. We all know that. And I think we are the main example of that. We've been a very good example of that for many other archdioceses and for many other churches. And this is what makes me proud. No matter who we are here, no matter who needs help, no matter who needs a little time, everybody has such a deep heart and has kept this family atmosphere And I, growing up in St. George and El Paso, I mean, yes, we had that too. But you know, maybe I was too young to realize it then, as much as you realize it as you grow older. But this is something we also cherish, and we also thank God for the blessings He's given us. The one other thing I want to just add is, you know, no matter what happens, if we are, God willing, successful, we all move to our next facility, no matter where it be, God willing, we'll end up here. We all, if it does take a little longer, if we don't get there this year, and we're hoping to, we're trying real hard, don't get me wrong, but I know everybody has been patient, and I know we're getting a little cramped here, but this is what family's about. You know, we all place a bunch of kids and a bunch of family in the same room. We share little spaces, and we still need to continue to do that very well. So if God will bless us, God will guide us and direct us, and He has, and I've always seen that, and I've always known that no matter what happens, God takes care of this mission in this church, as He does every church. But I think we've been especially blessed, and I look forward to many years with you. Thank you very much.